Allah imla, Alhayna wa Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Hamashiach wa Malaki Bashim Hawa Kakurash, Rakatam, Tawara Baba Bawa Kwam Yasharala. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily. To the men out there teaching the likewise doctrine, I say to you, Shalom. Today we're going to get into something I call Christian, what's the word? Christian cognitive dissonance. It kicks in, man, when they hear something they don't like. They just like Esau. They just close their ears like the deaf adder in what's the scripture? Psalms chapter 58, verse 4. Let's get it. Yep. Psalm chapter 58, verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Every time they hear something they don't like, Edomites, Christians, anybody against the truth, when they hear something they don't like, they act like they don't hear it, or they pretend that it means something else. No, it says what it says, man. Let's get and I can prove that as well. Let me see. Second Peter chapter 1, verse 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. Meaning you can't just twist scriptures the way you want it because you're offended by the truth. Now let's get this video. This is man, it's a little clip, 1 minute, it ain't long at all. But it's this Christian, he's on the streets with I think it's Sakari, the Sakari camp. And they was explaining to him that the Lord is not coming for everybody. But he has a problem with it, because he wants to save everybody, Esau at the top of his list. He wants to save Esau before he save himself. That's a brainwashed dude right there. But let's go ahead and get the video real quick. It says Christian agents approach wrong camp Sakari. Yes, Sakari camp. It says Christian versus Hebrew Israelites. Who was Hamashiach sent for? It says Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of Israel. But despite that, these Christians, they can't accept that. You know what I'm saying? They just don't know. I'm like, what's the matter with you? But let's get the video. Show you what I'm talking about.
Haven't you? Haven't you're only doing selective. What about when he says spread the gospel to every nation? Because the Israelites are in every nation. Hello.
That's true. Israelites were scattered in every nation. That's why he sent them to every nation. Now let's get the definition called diaspora. It says diaspora, Greek for Gentiles. Gentiles, definition, a scattering, dispersion of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations. Of the Christians scattered amongst the Gentiles. Christians in this particular term means Israelites because they were considered to be the first Christians in Antioch. All right. In order to be a true Christian, you have to be an Israelite. But see, Esau changed the definition of a Christian because he gave you a false religion under that title. So that's why we no longer call ourselves Christians, because we don't follow the Christian doctrine. It says, in a wider sense, the name embraces all nations, not Jews, that made the language, customs, and learning of the Greeks their own. The primary reference is to a difference of religion and worship. That's right. That's why it says, this basically sums up to Israelites following Greek customs, but they were Israelites, just like all the Israelites were spread to other nations. That's why the Lord sent them to all nations, not to save all nations, because Israelites were scattered amongst these nations. Okay, but Christians, they try to twist it to make it include everybody. No, this is not all inclusive. This is for Israelites only. You're not of the 12 tribes, then you can go on about your business. This ain't for you. This book is not for everybody. Unlike Esau's lies. Now let's continue.
That's why. Red letter. No, that's not. Red letter. Matthew 15. Red letter. Go ahead.
But he answered and said, I am not sent.
This is Jesus Christ. You gonna call him a liar?
And that is not Jesus. It's Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Jesus said he sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Did Jesus say he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? I couldn't hear him. I couldn't hear him.
See, that cognitive dissonance kicked in. I couldn't hear it. You heard it loud and clear. But that's cool, though. Let's get what happened to him just now. Let's go to the book of John. He couldn't hear, really. Go to the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44. Ye of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there's no truth in him. That's not it. That's not the scripture I wanted to get. I was thinking about Hebrews, Salakia. The book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 12. That's what I was thinking about, Salakia. Okay, this is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Meaning, when you hear the truth, your next reaction or your next sentence gonna reveal how you really feel. Either you with it or you against it. And it's gonna manifest itself in many ways, just like this. Yeah, like he ain't hitting it. Let's run it back though.
The house of Israel? Did Jesus say he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? I couldn't hear him.
I want to see how loud he was saying it.
Red letter, go ahead.
But he answered and said, I am not sent.
This is Jesus Christ. You gonna call him a liar? Read.
I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Jesus said he sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Did Jesus say he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? I couldn't hear him. Read. I couldn't hear him. Read it again. Just read it. Just read it.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, guys.
Did Jesus Christ say he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Yes or no? That verse,
See, that's you Christians right there. That's you Christians. Let me get some scriptures, man, because see, this is too easy. Amos chapter 5, verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. They hate it because it causes them to feel a certain way when they hear this truth. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 32. He that refuses instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. Verse 33. The fear of the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Now let's get Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, like you. I will also reject thee, that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God Yahweh. I also I will also forget thy children. So let's go. Let's bring it back. Let's do it one more time.
Haven't you? Oh, I haven't. You're only doing selective. What about when he says spread the gospel to every nation? Because the Israelites are in every nation. Hello. That's why. That's not.
No. See how his soul, his spirit bucking up against the truth. No. Yes. We just read the definition of the spore.
Red letter, Matthew 15.
Red letter, go ahead.
But he answered and said, I am not sent.
This is Jesus Christ. You gonna call him a liar?
Yahweh Shah Mashiach. There's no such person as Jesus Christ. Let's go.
I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Jesus said he sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? What's that? Did Jesus say he was sent to the lost sheep of the house
Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
of Israel? I couldn't hear him. I couldn't hear him. Read it again. Just read it.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, guys.
Did Jesus Christ say he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Yes or no? That verse,
Christians don't read, man. Stop it. Man, let me come on out of here. Oh man, you Christians are something else. Let me see what else I got. Let's get the book of Ezekiel, chapter 2, verse 2, and we're gonna read on down. This is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 2. And the Spirit answered unto me when he spake unto me, and set me upon my feet, that I heard him that spake unto me. Verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this day. Verse 4. But they are impudent, which means not showing due respect for another person, impertinent. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto me, Salakia, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there had been a prophet among them. Meaning when everything we tell you gonna happen happens, you gonna know that a prophet told you. Now this is for you Christians that love to freestyle and twist scriptures. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So if you don't have any light, what's the opposite of light? Darkness. Let's come back to that one. See what I got here for you. All right, let's get this right here. Let's get John 3:16. I know you Christians like that, don't you? Yeah, that's your script right now. Let's get it. John 3:16. For Yahweh so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Now let's break this down. Let's analyze this. Okay, for Yahweh so loved the world. Now there are worlds. There are 18 worlds representing the 18 nations. The word world in this scripture translates to cosmos, which means you're dealing with a specific people. The world that means everybody on the planet, that is diaspora. I mean, not diaspora. What's that word? It'll come to me in a minute. But in this particular scripture, John 3:16, when he said, so love the world, he's talking about the world of Israel. Okay? And that word is cosmos. I think the word that translates to everybody on the planet, I think that's cosmos. No, I think that's orthos, I think. But I'm gonna find it. Let me see. See if I got it wrote down anywhere. It'll come to me in a minute. But the word cosmos means the world of Israel. Oikomene, that's the word. When it says when the scriptures are talking about everybody on the planet, that term is oikomene. But in this particular scripture, when he says God, Yahweh so loved the world, means cosmos, which translates to his people. Now let's get Acts chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever should call on the name of the Lord, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, should be saved, as anybody in Israel. Now I can prove it that he was not talking about everybody on this planet. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Israel. Now, let's go, while we're still in the book of John, let's go to chapter 17 to really drive the point home. And this is Yahweh Shah Mashiach speaking. It's in the red letter. And we can start with let's start at verse 4. John chapter 17, verse 4. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. Verse 5. And now, O Father, glorify me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. Verse 6. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept my word. Verse 7. Now they have known all the things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. Verse 8. For I have given them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I come out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. Here's the punchline, verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. Verse 10. All of mine are thine, and all thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. Now, who's the them? The question you might be asking. So let's get who is the them. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 7. Grab this book real quick. All right. We're in Revelation chapter 7. We can start at verse 3. Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Verse 4. And I heard the number of them which are sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Verse 5. Of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000. Who's the tribe of Judah? The tribe of Judah is you so-called Negroes, African Americans, blacks, coloreds, whatever you want to call yourself. You are Judites. You're not none of this bullshit Esau calls you. Of the tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000. Who's the tribe of Reuben, you might be asking? That are the Seminole Indians. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000, North American Indians. Verse 6. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Asher are those who dwell from Uruguay to Colombia. Let me see. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Who's the tribe of Naphtali? Those that dwell from Argentina to Chile. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. That's you modern day Cubans. Verse 7. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Simeonites of those that dwell in the Dominican Republic or the West Indies. No, not the West Indies. Dominican Republic, those are the Simeonites. Of the tribe of Levi was sealed 12,000. That's you so-called Haitians. Of the tribe of Issachar was sealed 12,000. That's you so-called Mexicans. Now, to show you that this is no coincidence, this all makes sense. The word Issachar translates to he's hired. That's you so-called Mexicans, the tribe of Issachar. Verse 8. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Zebulunites, those are the people that dwell from Guatemala to Panama. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. The tribe of Joseph is the tribe of Ephraim, which is you so-called Puerto Ricans. You also are the head of the northern kingdom. The Judites are the head of the southern kingdom and also the head tribe of the nation of Israel. That's why it's prophesied that Judah would wake up first, because we would be the teachers, the prophets. Of the tribe of Benjamin was sealed 12,000. Tribe of Benjamin, those are the people that dwell in Jamaica, West Indies. Now, those people, that's who John 3:16 was talking about, not everybody. This is John chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. The Jews are, the Jews are the Judites, Negroes. The Jews also are the Benjaminites. Those are dwell West Indies, Jamaica. And they are also the Levites, the priests, which are the Haitians. Those are the Jews. The other 9 tribes are Israel. But the southern kingdom, Judah, Levi, and Benjamin also are Israelites, but they are also the Jews. The northern kingdom, the other tribes, they are known as Israel. All right. Now, I hope I don't confuse y'all, but basically what it's saying is Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, they are the Jews, but they are also Israelites. The other 9 tribes, they're only Israelites. They're not Jews. Okay. At least they're not considered, but they are Israelites. They are the chosen. Now let's go. Let's get okay, let's get this. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude. Truly in the Lord Yahweh, our power is the salvation of Israel. Now, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the other nations, some other people that who are not Israelites, you heathens. There's no salvation for you. There's only slavery or death. Let's see. Let's get this. Now, I know this is going to be an argument that you Christians love to argue about, but it's so easy to understand. You just don't want to understand because you don't want to admit that you're wrong. Right. But that's cool though, because I'm gonna tell y'all this. Anything that you would choose to believe in, you better be willing to die for. Because that's exactly what's gonna happen if you worshiping anything other than Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So I hope you strong in your conviction and your beliefs, because if you wrong, you dead. Genesis chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord Yahweh appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the almighty power. Walk before me and be thou perfect. Verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. Verse 3. And Abram fell on his face, and Yahweh talked with him, saying, verse 4. As for me, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Now, a lot of you Christians like to interject and say that, see, Abraham was the father of many nations. Yeah, Abraham was. But there is a chosen bloodline that comes from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes. So if you're not one of the 12 tribes, you're not considered the chosen. Now let's get something else. Let's go to the book of Joel. This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am your Lord, and I am the Lord. Salaki, start over. Joel chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. Now let's get this. This is Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16. And this is what's going on now. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord Yahweh, and they shall fish them, meaning we're going to teach, we're going to preach, we're going to get the truth out there, right? And it also says, and after that will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Hunting, that's when it's time to put in work. We're gonna be imbued with spiritual power, Yahweh Ratazah, and that's when the judgment gonna begin. Said they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill. Every mountain in this scripture means the large governments, United States government, Russian government, Chinese government, all the superpowers, you would say. And from every hill, those are the smaller countries. Now let's get something else. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. He was talking to the Israelites. This whole book is for the Israelites. None of you other heathen nations ain't got nothing to do with it. It's time for y'all to accept that. Stop trying to include yourself in our book. If you are in there, show us with scripture and stop twisting scriptures and lying on the Bible, lying on the Lord, lying on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And this is for you Israelites that's out there choosing to follow cheese and rice because you don't want to accept the truth. The book of Judges, chapter 10, verse 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. Verse 14, go and cry unto the gods ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation, which is Jacob's trouble right around the corner. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, which means stupid. And they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. Yeah, they real quick to twist scriptures and lie on the Bible. When you come with the truth, they mad. They can't accept it. Guess what? You in your lie. Because based on Hebrews 4 and 12, you have revealed yourself. Zechariah chapter 7, verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pull away the shoulder and stop their ears that they should not hear. That's our people, stiff-necked, hard-headed. Too busy trying to save Esau. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's our people. Verse 10. We say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, but speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. That's why y'all keep them churches packed, because you love hearing lies. You love it. They want to tell us we lying, but can't prove it. When you Christians don't even read. Galatians chapter 4, verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? That's where a lot of our people at. When they hear the truth from us, they hate it because they want Esau's kingdom to continue. They don't want the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai to come forth. They hate it. They can't save Esau. They don't want to be, they don't want to go to the kingdom. Well, guess what? You stay your dumb ass here, your scary ass here, and die with Esau. And since you love cheese and rice so much, you'll die with him too. Just like I said before, whatever y'all choose to believe in, you better be ready to die for it, because that's exactly what's going to happen if you're wrong. But you don't read. So it's a good chance you're wrong. Titus chapter 1, verse 16. They profess that they know Yahweh, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and to every good work reprobate. Reprobate means reject. You have been rejected by the Lord. James chapter 1, verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bridle not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. You're lying to yourself. Let's go to the book of Amos. chapter 3. We can start at verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord Yahweh have spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, children of Israel against the whole family, that's all 12 tribes. Verse 2, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. That's why you got so-called blacks, Indians, Hispanics, and Latinos been catching hell. And all of us went through slavery. Name another nation that caught hell like us or been through slavery like us. Name another nation that the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28 apply to. You can't. Stop lying. It's over. Yeah, these curses fit us and nobody else. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people. That's what Buddy said in the video. From one end of the earth even into the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Them wooden crosses, them stone statues, them pictures on your wall of white cheese and rice. Yeah, that's what it's talking about. Verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Most High shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of the eyes and sorrow of the mind. Who else catching hell like that besides us? Verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have none assurance of thy life. Who getting gunned down like it ain't nothing? Us. Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. About to catch a hell with us, but he wanna save everybody. Romans chapter 9, verse 26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God. Hosea chapter 1, verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together one head, and they shall come out of the land, for great shall be the day of Yisrael. See what else I got. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. Verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shai, their power. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, their power. For I will give them a heart and ears to hear. Verse 32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. Then this is what I was explaining the other day. You got to be mindful of these names that people come up with, because if they don't have the right name, that's where it starts and stops at, because with certain names come certain doctrines. Now, if you call upon the name Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you have the right doctrine. If you call on Yah, Yahusha, All them other names, cheese and rice, Buddha, you have the wrong doctrine. You believe in lies by believing in these names. So where it starts and stops at is the true names. They don't have the true names, they don't have the true doctrine. Verse 33, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. Verse 34, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall not be diminished. Let's get verse 35. That's like. All right, Baruch chapter 2, verse 35. And it reads, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. All these possessive pronouns, my, that doesn't pertain to everybody. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land which I've given them. So when we go home this time, we gonna be there. We ain't gonna leave no more. Now, let's get some more proof that he's not talking to everybody. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have called thee by name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. That means we have his last name, just like a wife. Yasharallah, Israel, Prince of Power. Now let's get this. This is the book of Romans. And we can start at chapter 9, verse 4. And these scriptures, a lot of pastors don't read, because they're trying to include everybody in our covenant. Ask your pastor to read Romans chapter 9, verses 4 through 8, and ask him to explain it. I bet you get kicked out of church, but we're going to read it here, because we are the church. Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Who are the Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises. Israelites, not everybody. Verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahushua came, who is over all the Most High, blessed forever. Amen. Verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High have not taken effect, for they are all not Israel, which are Israel. It's talking about the 2/3 that's going to get burned up because they want to save everybody. You Christians, you Catholics, you Greeks, following these sororities and fraternities. That's your religion. You back on earth be judged for it. Remember the Apocrypha? This book right here, this goes into our Greek captivity. And that's where y'all got that shit from. And you're back on the earth to be judged for it. Verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham they are all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. It's not based on Abraham alone. It's based on Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is the chosen seed coming out of Jacob. Verse 8. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, bloodline. It's not no such thing as a spiritual Israelite. Either you're born an Israelite or you're not. It's of the flesh, the bloodline. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promises are counted for the seed. All about bloodline, baby. It's all about the seed, which comes out the fathers, which means your nationality is not based on your mother. It's based on your father. Think about it like this. Think of a mother's womb as the soil. Think about watermelon seeds as the seeds from the father. Now, if you plant watermelon seeds in that soil, regardless if it's Chinese soil, regardless if it's Edomite soil, regardless if it's Japanese soil, it doesn't matter. If that seed is from an Israelite, that child is an Israelite. It's not based on your mother. Let's get it. Numbers 1:18. Numbers 1:18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the houses of their fathers. It also destroys that pseudoscience of mixed races. There's no such thing as mixed races. Whatever your father is, that's what you are. According to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Yeah. They declared their pedigrees after their families by the houses of their fathers, not their mothers. No such thing as mixed children. No such thing as mixed people. Whatever your father is, that's what you are. So if your father's not an Israelite, you're not an Israelite. So for those that's questioning that, I would call your daddy. I would call him and ask him, what are you? You don't want to miss this first ride on them chariots, because if you miss that first ride on them chariots, that means there's only two things you going into. Well, if you're an Israelite, if you miss that ride on that chariot, you getting death. If you're not an Israelite, you either getting death or slavery. Let's get this last scripture, then we can go ahead and close. Point's been made. It's only for the Israelites, baby. I know it hurts, but guess what? When y'all was benefiting from our mistakes and how we went off and pissed off the Lord, y'all benefited from it. Y'all knew who he was, but y'all didn't even tell us. Because you wanted to benefit. As long as we was at the bottom getting punished, y'all was prospering. That's why you didn't say nothing. But guess what? It's over now. Secret is the cat's out the bag. Get ready for death or slavery, all you other nations. You 2/3 Israelites, get ready for death. That's all it is to it. It's just that simple. So don't try to complicate the truth with a whole bunch of lies. John chapter 7, verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. This book is not for everybody. It's only for the Israelites. So you can try to lie and include yourself. If you're not an Israelite all you want to, you're just going to get punished. So America, Russia, China, y'all done. Israel up next. And for you rabbis out there, don't get mad at us because your lie caught up with you. We don't care about your feelings. What you lie for? Yeah, we gonna cut you spiritually all day. This rabbi talking about so he could prove that we wrong in 2 seconds. We've been waiting on that for the longest, but he didn't do it. Because he can't do it. You cannot prove that we are not the people, but we can prove that you're not the people. That's why you're mad, because your lies got caught up to you. But we don't care. We're going to splatter that lie all over this planet until the Lord comes back and put your ass in chains. Call Allah Imlala Haya now with Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, Hamashiach wa Malaki by Hashem Harawat Kakurash Baraka Thumb the water, Baba Ba Wakwam Yasharal. Shalom.